Welcome to Season 2 of the Kinder Way podcast. I'm Kathleen O'Hagan, digital content strategist and writer at Serenia Life, and your host. I'm also a married mom with a mortgage. Try saying that 5 times fast. Navigating the same financial ups and downs as many Canadians today. Did I mention I'm also a life insurance convert?
Yes!
So if you've ever wondered how life insurance fits into your financial plan or why someone would buy it for a child, you're in the right place. And if you've never wondered these things, even better. I'm here to share some insider tricks and tips that may give you a change of perspective. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome to a special episode of the Kinder Way podcast. Today, I'm going to be referencing an article from the Serenia Life website to help guide a very important talk with my mom. The talk, if you will. And no, it's not about the birds and the bees. We're talking end-of-life planning. My mom's end-of-life planning wishes, to be exact. Awkward? Well, yeah, it could be. A few years ago, I probably would have avoided this conversation at all costs. But having worked in this industry, life insurance, for half a decade now, and having lost my dad recently, I see how important these conversations really are. So let's see how things go with my mom. Note that other than the article I'm scanning while we chat, this talk is totally spontaneous and unscripted. Here we go. Okay. Hello again, Mom. Welcome back to the show.
Hello.
So today we're going to try something different. We're going to go through the questions in an article that we published a while ago called How to Approach the Talk with Your Folks, having a conversation about some awkward topics like estate planning and life insurance and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to ask you questions and you just tell me what you remember, what you know. Okay?
All right. Okay.
So we're going to start with your financial goals. So I know you're retired. I know it's later in life for you, but do you have any sort of financial goals at this stage, whether it be helping your grandchildren in the future or planning some big family getaway, putting money away for if you're worried about a future health condition, anything I'm not thinking about that you're planning for?
Well, I did see my financial advisor at the bank after your dad passed away, and she's got me all fixed up with, investments and TFSA and everything. I mean, I always thought that maybe I would go on some trips, but it doesn't seem as much fun without your dad. And big things, sometimes I think, well, I have to have money for certain big upkeep expenses of the house. That's kind of get me nervous sometimes. But I know I have the money. I sometimes think I don't have the money, but I do have the money to keep afloat here.
Okay, so now let's talk about your estate planning documents. So just kind of scanning the article right now. So it sounds like you may have looked at your will recently. When you looked at it, did you need to make any updates? And that could be, anything that happens in your life, new grandchildren, a death in the family, new inheritance, anything like that.
Well, yes. Once your spouse passes away, especially at our age, all kinds of things have to be changed, edited by the financial advisor. I could never do that on my own. So, for example, Dad's teacher's pension or his government pension and other such things, they have to legally change things so that some of that would come to me, for example, and other things that I would lose because he's not here. So a lot of things have to be done if you lose your spouse.
Did you have to make any changes to your will recently after?
Yeah, absolutely. The will has been updated as of I guess when Dad passed away. So about 2 years ago, I have a completely new copy from another lawyer, not the original lawyer, because he's not doing that anymore.
What is the biggest change to your will? Like when a spouse dies, what is the change that you need to make to your will?
Well, it all looks so similar, except that, for example, he's never going to be a beneficiary I was the beneficiary of his will. So that goes away. It was suggested that trustees, for example, should be somebody in the country like yourself, and also power of attorney. But for some reason, I'm not. Yeah. So
I have a kind of a funny question about your
yes.
will. Did you, when you got your cat a few years ago, did you put your cat in the will?
No, I didn't put my cat in the will, so I guess you're just going to have to take her. I'll probably live longer than my cat.
Hopefully, yes.
So if she passes before me, we're all set, and if she doesn't, well, I'll expect you to take her on.
I
She's
already
a
have two
lovely
cats.
cat.
Could be a problem. Okay.
Oh no, I actually did not know about that. I saw that later on. Maybe we'll
Okay.
have to talk
Well,
to that.
something to look into with your
Yeah.
lawyer. Okay, another question. Have you appointed a power of attorney in case? So I think there's two powers of attorney, right? There's for health and then there's for property
Money.
or estate.
Property is one and medical is the other. And that's a funny thing that I'm sure I've got somewhere. And I'm sure that it's you and Sean. You would be first because you're in the country. I think that I was the power of attorney for your dad, and I've got that in front of me, but I didn't have time to find out. And it should be here. It should be here with my will, but it's not jumping out at me at this point,
Okay, well, that's homework for you. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever thought about, now here's an awkward question, what sort of funeral you would prefer? I mean, there's new things now, like green funerals. There's like crazy stuff if you look into it. Really eco-friendly things. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I have thought about it, and it's basically don't want to be in a funeral home, for example, because I'll have no relatives or friends left except for you and Sean and my grandkids. And I've always thought it'd be great just to have it in my house with my favorite music playing and photo albums all over the place, and definitely an urn. I don't mind that idea of the green. I just think it's another. I read about it. I feel as though it's another complicated thing to do. It's not, well, they all are. I'm not sure. I could still think about that. Yeah, so I have it all written out actually. Someday you can read it, what I want. Okay. It's pretty basic. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I keep looking at all the pages in front of me, but I'm not.
Well, that's okay. That leads to my next question, and I think I kind of have the answer, which is, do you have all your important stuff in order? So it sounds like you have a lot of that with you, but is it all kind of together, like all that important stuff? Like even, there's the big things like mortgage, credit card debt, personal loans, but then there's the smaller things like passwords or even your social insurance number, which you need apparently to order a death certificate. Is that kind of stuff all in one place?
Well, obviously I don't have any debt. And when I have debt on a credit card, it's paid every month, no matter what the cost is, always paid. So there's no debt. As far as passwords, when we had that big fraud thing that happened to me and we had to change so much, I lost the ability to remember all my passwords, which followed a certain formula. But you gave me a password book, as you recall. I think you know where that is. What was the other thing you asked me in there? There's something else.
Social insurance number.
Oh, yes.
But I guess that would be in your wallet, right?
No, it's not in my wallet, actually. And it's interesting that that I read that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put that little card in with the will. I'll just throw it in that big brown envelope. I also have my life insurance policy in there. That's your next question.
Well, that all goes together, right? That's all the important stuff. But okay, so now I obviously know you have a life insurance policy.
You're the beneficiary. You and Sean are the beneficiaries, I believe.
Okay. So is it just us? No charity, no grandchildren?
Well, no, that would be in the will usually, right? Isn't that the case? That the life insurance is just No,
you can actually have a charity as a beneficiary. You can have multiple beneficiaries. Right. You can.
Well, I've only changed it to Sean and Kath equally, so I think it's only funny how they write it up. I think it's only like 20,000. I think. I don't know. That's what it looks like.
I was going to say that's an average cost of a Canadian funeral, but that's a high-end cost of a Canadian funeral. So
yeah. And I try to keep your dad's low, and I still think I paid at the 10,000 plus. I'm going on and on. Okay, I'll stop. What would you like to ask me now?
I think we mostly covered all these questions. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that when you were kind of going through your notes or anything that you thought you wanted to share that maybe we've never talked about or I never asked you, or have we covered everything?
Well, I don't think I've ever shared this this page I've got here. Maybe you should read it soon or at some point. It's just something that I've written, which you can do. You don't have to have it typed up legally. What you want done once you've passed away, right? That's totally up to you. And so it's kind of interesting. Anyway, yeah. So it's just like a little page like that. And the interesting thing is there was a previous one. Yeah. So I tried to be really organized because as well as I do, there was so much to do once Dad passed. Right? Incredible amount to do. So I try to get things ready so that we're not running all over the place trying to figure things out.
Well, thank you. That's helpful. And that's why we do recommend our members and all Canadians have these talks, because otherwise it can be very complicated afterwards, right? If you're looking for everything.
Yes, I wouldn't have thought of it because I don't think, Dad didn't do that.
So you've answered the questions very well. And thank you for answering all those questions and having the awkward talk with me. It wasn't that awkward, right?
No, it wasn't.
Yay. Totally agreed. This episode was written and hosted by me, Kathleen O'Hagan. Video and audio edits by Teresa Moscardo. And sponsored by Serenia Life Financial, the kinder way to do life insurance.